So this is sort of off the cuff I- my reaction to that second GOP debate. I mean, if that's what we're stuck with for GOP contenders for president of the United States, I mean, listen, I know I speak for three-quarters of Americans that think that if you had to pick a CEO of America, Biden or Trump would not qualify for that job. Did you see your next CEO on that stage last night? Maybe. Who? I mean, Vivek specifically didn't go after Trump. Scott didn't go after Trump. Nikki and DeSantis did. What does that tell you? That's really all you need to know. I mean, was the debate even consequential in any sense? Did you learn anything about their policy? I mean, look at my Twitter. I could not believe what I was listening to. And then it was funny. Vivek goes, he wants to expand his reach by going on TikTok. He's the only Republican who's on TikTok, but is TikTok a national security risk and so on. But I sort of liked what he said, that he has to expand his reach. But then it's like saying, I have to rob a bank and then I'll donate the money to charity. I liked what he said, but after thinking about it, not really. It was probably the only thing I ever thought of that was tolerable by Ramaswamy. And I mean, DeSantis, I'm happy he didn't invoke Fauci, COVID, Florida. I mean, and these candidates that just cannot stay on topic or refuse to stay on topic, a different format's got to be figured out. I mean, a couple of years ago, I even told this to John Donvan. I went to an Intelligence Squared debate in person live. It was in January of 2020, I believe. And I told him I really admired his video he put out, or really it was Intelligence Squared put out, saying that debates don't have to be like this. It was right after Trump said, you look at the size of these hands. I'm like, come on, that's a presidential debate. I mean, that's when I really think debates went in the trash. But if you ever looked at how Open to Debate or Intelligence Squared US debate runs, John does a fantastic job. He keeps the debaters in line. I mean, could the moderators do that? No, they can't do that. And this is coming as a centrist. I just wanted to see them argue at least somewhat reasonable talking points. See what they had to say about current issues. They're talking about invading Mexico. They're talking about fentanyl being the driving issue between them and China, and meanwhile the cartel is the third largest employer in Mexico. I mean, China's a threat. China is now no friend of the U.S. China is the biggest trading partner of the U.S. And if trade were to shut down with China, we'd be in big trouble. But you have to be kidding me. Everything's not about China. These contenders are not connecting with the American people. Yeah, the biggest drum they can beat is illegal immigration, and boy, they did. But they didn't touch on how stupid the government would be to shut down, and meanwhile McCarthy could just reach across the aisle and pass a common sense spending package and call it a day. No, they're probably going to head straight for a shutdown, which we're, as of the time of this recording, 2 days away from. Why? Why? Did one Republican get up there and say, "Yeah, I'll be the reasonable Republican who reaches across the aisle and puts an end to this partisan politics"? There's nothing wrong with a parentheses D before your name. As long as you have good ideas, we'll pass whatever needs to be passed. I don't think any reasonable American would say, "No, you have something. You're a part of the opposing party. Automatic X." The center will prevail. The center is what we need. And what we saw last night was just a mess. It was just a mess. So, I mean, Christie thought it was a good move to get inside Biden's bedroom Pence thought he was in position to say, yeah, about my bedroom, I sleep with a teacher too. Are you kidding? That this is the interview process for president of the United States? Are you kidding? I want 2 hours of my life back. But yeah, you don't got time back. My reaction to it. There you have it. Uh, I just learned about the disarray of the primary process. I do not rule the Democrats any less guilty. I do not. I think it would be the same thing, but on the other side of the spectrum. I do. Trump being absent. He should be. Why bother? Why bother? He's polling at 60%. And who's the next front runner? DeSantis has been on nothing but the decline. Haley has been on the rise a little bit and may be the only viable candidate. When it comes to dropping out of the race, I mean, Burgum's a nice guy. North Dakota, I mean, nice. But who else is viable? Would DeSantis drop out to not be humiliated in the first primary states? I mean, we have like 6 months to go, and maybe a little less. When it comes down to it, are they just waiting on the weight to come down on Trump and say he's out of the race? All right, now it's a dog race on who gets to the front line of the Republican nomination. What can possibly happen? Trump is running for his life. And when it comes to different debate formats, something Mark Halpern and Sean Spicer floated this morning was imagine each candidate had a total time countdown. And let's say they were all allotted 20 minutes. Whenever they spoke, the timer would run. Once that timer runs, their mic is off for the entirety of the debate. So they have to use that time very smart, or in a very smart way. When it comes to last night's debate, you saw how each one of them vied for, let me speak, but let me speak, but let me speak. Imagine they were working off a limited time portion. I mean, it'll be unique. But imagine what a moderator. How can a moderator control the debaters, absent of shutting down their mic? Think about it. And those are my initial reactions. What a mess it was, and inconsequential. Thanks, guys.